Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. And today I want to talk about a question that everyone's been asking. When is the Infinity War update actually going to happen? When are the patch notes? When is the maintenance? And so on. And we have pretty much the actual answer, give or take 24 hours, based on a couple of things that Netmarble did recently that they don't usually do. Now, normally, because of uniform sales that are expiring, or because of certain purchases in the shop that are expiring, or because of certain login events, or kind of limited events like these, we have a clue as to when an update is coming. And we also usually know that they land on Tuesdays or Thursdays, or Wednesdays, in terms of the update schedule, and that's just been the routine for the past 3 years, so we're kind of used to that routine by now. But instead of that, or in addition to that, Netmarble gave us a really easy way to know this time around, at least for the first part of Infinity War update. They had a post on Mobile Room called the sales packages, which is all just normal stuff that they're selling, you know, Norn Stones of Chaos, the uniform upgrade pack, the second anniversary, the X-Men relay, all that stuff. Just the regular sales that they update week by week. They always put an expiry date, but they always come back the very next day. But in addition to that, they had a specific line that a lot of people immediately read and were intrigued by. Limited growth package. The period is whenever to before the next update. So that's pretty much the most crystal clear, obvious news and date that you need to know exactly when the update is happening. And so if you go over to the store, and you can do that on your device right now, or you can just keep watching, it shows you exactly what it's talking about. The exclusive booster pack is the limited sale item. I don't know why they called it the limited or exclusive booster pack instead of the limited growth package, but it doesn't really matter. And it ends in, as of this video, 9 days, 21 hours. So this number right here and these timers, as they whittle down, are the Infinity War Part 1 update timers. This is your countdown that you can refer to, basically. So this pegs the update for the 25th of April. Now, it could mean that the update happens on the 25th, so we'll have maintenance in the evening Eastern time of the 25th, which means that we'll be able to play the game sometime in the wee hours, like 2, 3, 4 a.m. on the 26th. Or, because that's Korean time, it could mean that the update is going to happen on the 24th, if you're on the East Coast. For the Eastern time people, like myself, in the evening at around 8 p.m., the servers will go down on the 24th, and then they'll come up again on the 25th at like 2, 3 in the morning. So again, I said there's a difference of 24 hours there. It's not abundantly clear which one is which, but it could be that the maintenance starting coincides with the end of this booster pack, or it could be that the maintenance ending coincides with the end of this booster pack. We'll have to wait and see. But that is the burning question that everybody had. When is the update going to drop? We now know it's the 24th or the 25th. So there's actually quite a bit you can do with this information. You can obviously use it to start prioritizing what you're going to spend your energy on. If you're really far behind on farming Uru, for example, you now know that you have just about 8 or 9 days to catch up on your farming. If you really need uniform upgrade kits, you gotta start hitting those dimension rifts. More importantly, for Shadowland, it means that for this week's rotation, if you haven't already completed Shadowland, it still has about 4 days and 12 hours to complete by the drop of this video. So if you wait until the last, hour or two of Shadowlands rolling over on Thursday, you will be able to save your bioselectors for the update. Now, normally, and especially considering the last few updates, saving your bioselectors hasn't really panned out, because we've had very few, if any, bioselector usable characters. However, ooh, what did I get? Garbage. Okay. However, this update will be different, and I promise you that, because we're already getting uniforms for the Black Order. In addition to that, we're probably going to be seeing at least a few of the kind of old staples: Black Widow, Falcon, Captain America, etc., getting renewed uniforms for Infinity War. So if nothing else, if you don't need them for your actual roster building, if you've already got all the tier 2s you need, you've got all the 6 stars you need, as I do and as many others do, you can start saving, and you can still prioritize those bioselectors for uniforms. And I've already made this point in previous videos, but making sure that you have a ripe stock of Captain America bios for his bearded Andre uniform, or making sure you have enough bios for Iron Man's eventual uniform. We know he's getting the, hopefully the Bleeding Edge, possibly Groot's getting uniform, Spider-Man's getting the Iron Spider, pretty much for sure. There's no way they're gonna miss out on that one. So you can definitely take advantage of knowing when the update's gonna drop, and you can save those Shadowland bioselectors and hold them over so that they don't expire before the update drops. And you always have to include the maintenance. So that's why the safest bet is to complete Shadowlands just a couple of hours before the weekly reset, because if it happens on the 25th, if the maintenance happens on the 25th at night, it means that you'll have less than 24 hours after the maintenance, when the new patch is up, to spend those Shadowland bios, if my math is correct. So, and it's not always correct, so maybe you want to double check the numbers and let me know in the comments below, but I'm pretty sure. The second thing I wanted to talk about is actually the purchase itself, because on top of having these sales introduced into the shop as they normally do, we have the exclusive booster pack, which is new. We've never seen this particular purchase, and I have to say, for $40 Canadian, it's pretty decent. Now, your local currency might be different, but at least in my currency, it's a pretty decent deal, and I'll tell you why. The 3,300 crystals are usually equatable to a dollar each, so you're roughly going to spend about $33 for 3,300 crystals. That's kind of how it works, at least in the Canadian currency. The biometrics and the Nornstones aren't really worth much at all. But then you have the last two items, the Black Antimatter and the Chaos Nornstones. Now, the Black Antimatter is kind of so-so, but 500 Chaos Nornstones is actually quite a lot. And if you compare that purchase to anything else, like for example this one is 750 crystals for 100 Chaos Nornstones, that is terrible. And if you equate it, you know, 100 Chaos Nornstones, you're spending about $7-8 for that number of crystals, if you just calculate that same crystal cost 1 to 100 in terms of dollars to crystals. And you can take that idea and you can mathematically kind of bounce it up, and for more than 3,300 crystals, you're only getting 300 Nornstones of Chaos. Now granted, these specific packs, these World Boss Relay packs, are terrible, and they've been notoriously bad for value since they were introduced, but it also highlights a good opportunity or a good deal when I see one, and I do honestly think that this is good. It's definitely best for new and intermediate players, but even for veterans to be able to save or build up some crystals right before the update if you're lacking some, this is a great deal, and it's priced more aggressively so that more people will be able to purchase it, because right now the wiser idea or the usual advice is to buy the 2-year anniversary pack, because it gives you the best crystals for the amount of money that you spend. The only other option being just straight up purchasing crystals at their normal cost, in terms of either going here or purchasing these special packs. I don't particularly like those. I like to get a few extra items. It just makes me feel like I'm getting my money's worth. Might just be psychological, but you know, this is too expensive, and this is definitely prices some people completely out. But if you look at it, for 1,200 Nornstones for $115, you could spend 80 and get almost the same number of Nornstones. You can get 1,000. So again, I wouldn't purchase this twice necessarily, although you can. But if you purchase it twice for $80, you're getting almost 7,000 crystals, and you can do the math on the other items that you get. It's a pretty decent option. Andre seems to think so, because he keeps meowing. And apologies for the noise later. I touched my controller just under my hands, and I like to talk with my hands, so that, you know, it happens sometimes. The last thing I wanted to discuss with you guys is actually something that we will be seeing right after this video drops. So I can't show you, unfortunately, in-game right now because it's not part of the check-in, but it will presumably appear on this check-in tomorrow, because that's when it goes live. That's the first day of the check-in for the 3-year anniversary, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I think it's really awesome, and it looks like this. They made a huge banner for it. Kamala Khan is very excited, and I'm honestly pretty excited. For those of you that were around last year, Netmarble did not make much of a fuss about their 2-year anniversary. It was very disappointing. Everyone was left scratching their heads, confused. We knew later on that it was because of the X-Men, but still, in hindsight, they could have done a lot more. So this year, it seems that they've understood that and they've taken notes and they've rectified it, because we are getting more than 14 days, I believe, of login bonus items, which is pretty awesome. So you can see the logins there. It starts from the 16th, which is the day that this update drops, presumably after the daily reset. We're gonna get some of the highlighted items anyways, 3 6-star ISOs, which is nice. Hopefully none of you get the purple ones. 100 Chaos Norn Stones, which is pretty good. Honestly, the XP chips still surprise me that they give such a low number. I mean, we know that it takes almost 2,000 level 5 XP chips just to get one character to level 60 if you don't purchase an XP booster from the Alliance store or from the Crystal store with crystals. So giving away 300 just seems so petty. It's such a poor number of XP chips, but whatever. We do get 30 hidden tickets, which is very nice. For those of you that don't know what to do with your hidden tickets, I would recommend running special missions when you need to get uniform XP, because theoretically you should be getting more XP when you run special missions with a hidden ticket, because those extra minions plus the Venom boss or the Lash boss at the end will net you some additional experience, which I think should give you a little bit more uniform XP. I'm not 100% sure about that, but it's worth a try. If not, you can just clear ticket them and you still get some pretty awesome rewards. Yesterday, from a hidden route hidden ticket, I got a 6-star obelisk, and you can also get CTPs of Transcendence. On the second week of these logging events, which will also kind of overlap with the update, so we're going to get the update in between the D5 and D4 days, which is 6-star awakened ISO is pretty badass, and then 30 level 3 uniform XP chips. Thank you very much. Also, in total, you get 1.6 million gold, which I think is pretty nice, and 60 hidden tickets. And then right at the end, on the last day, we get a tier 2 character selector, which is great. I can't yet speak to the overall value of the character selector because I don't know what it's going to do. Once we know from the 28-day special check-in how many characters are available on the tier 2 selector, I will be doing a follow-up video to discuss my thoughts, and then you can take those ideas and apply them to the next tier 2 character selector that we're going to be getting on April 30th for the 3-year anniversary. So happy incoming anniversary, Marvel Future Fight. Thanks for 3 years, although I'll have more to say on the actual day. And hopefully there's going to be a lot of excitement on the 25th for the Infinity War update. So let me know what you guys think of all of those news and tidbits and information. Subscribe if you enjoy the content and you want to support me. Hit the bell if you don't want to miss any of the content that I put out. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.